What's up guys, Virgil here for JRPG Central, and today I'm going to be giving you my review for Disgaea 1 Complete, reviewed on the PlayStation 4. Before we get started though, I do want to be completely transparent and let you know that I did reach out to NIS America, and they did supply me with a code for this review. And if you've been with the channel for a while, you've probably heard me say that I don't get games early, which is true. I've never gotten a game early until now, so this was kind of a big deal for me, and I'm very proud and really excited to be able to bring you guys some content pre-release. That said, I was not paid for this review, and it doesn't mean I'm going to hold back critically. For the uninitiated, here's a quick breakdown of what exactly Disgaea 1 Complete is. It is a remaster and not a remake of the original Disgaea that includes all of the features from the game's many different ports, as well as all new graphical enhancements not found in even the PC release. For this review, I feel that it's important to give you my history with the series, as this is my first Disgaea game. Outside of playing around 2 hours of it on the PS2, this game is pretty much my starting point for the series. With that in mind, this review will be from the perspective of someone who's never played any of the others. So if you're looking for a Disgaea veteran's view on the game, this video might not be for you. If however you are new to the series, or a newcomer's perspective interests you, then welcome to my review for Disgaea 1 Complete. Going into Disgaea, I didn't really know what to expect. All I knew from the couple of hours I had played before was that 1, I really liked Etna and Laharl, and that 2, it was a strategy RPG. Admittedly, the reason I originally stopped playing it back in the day was how overwhelming it can be at first. The game throws a lot at you very early on, with a ton of different menus and systems to keep up with, and in general, I would say it has a somewhat steep learning curve. However, it's not nearly as daunting as it looks, and once you get a grasp on the most important systems, understanding the rest kind of snowballs into place. It also helps that there is no scarcity of information in-game, with many of the NPCs having tutorials on weapon types, different classes, and the game's many other systems to look through. Even with these though, I highly recommend a beginner's guide or a tips and tricks video to help save you some time and possible frustration. Lucky for you, I already have that kind of video on the channel, which you can find linked down below and at the end of the video. The story in Disgaea isn't exactly the game's main focus or strength, but I found it really lighthearted and fun. Its silly subject matter is held up well thanks to its great cast. Laharl, Etna, and Flan are an amazing set of characters. They have so much chemistry and enjoyable banter that is brought to life thanks to the voice actors' stellar performances. The dialogue might be a little cheesy at times, but the actors' portrayals of the characters are perfect. Even with it being somewhat silly, for the most part I enjoyed the story far more than I expected to. And in fact, it can actually tug at the heartstrings a little bit. The reason I say for the most part is because I really wasn't a fan of the direction that the narrative takes towards the last third or so of the game. The focus shifts hard to a couple of different characters that, if I'm honest, I wasn't exactly crazy about. But Disgaea isn't about the story, at least not to me. It's about the grind, the beautiful, beautiful grind. Now, I know that's a dirty word to some of you out there, but if there was a game to make you enjoy grinding, Disgaea would be the one. The entire game is filled with things to level up and that do level up regularly. From the obvious answers like your characters or skills, to the somewhat less obvious like the stores, your customer rank, and items. Throughout your entire time with Disgaea, the game gives you little hits of addictive progression through so many different things that it makes even the mundane more satisfying than it has any right to be. For example, when you're damaged from a battle and you need to heal, you go to the Netherworld Hospital and pay Hell, the game's currency, to heal yourself. The hospital will keep track of how much HP, SP, and allies you revive individually, and will reward you with some really great stuff for reaching certain amounts healed throughout the game. So basically, even getting your ass kicked is rewarding. As far as gameplay goes, Disgaea is a standard strategy RPG on crack. My strategy roots lie in the original Fire Emblem games for the GBA, so compared to those games, Disgaea is pretty wild. I mean, I thought this was the epitome of flashy and cool when I was a kid. But this is just crazy. The way Disgaea handles movement is completely different as well. In Disgaea, you deploy from one spot, the base panel, one at a time as opposed to all at once. Your actions also don't happen immediately after selecting them. If you move Laharl up and attack an enemy, the action won't happen until either you end your turn or select execute in the menu. At first, I found this weird and somewhat annoying because it just felt like an extra unnecessary step. However, there's great strategy in it. With things like team attacks, you can use this delay to your advantage. For example, after moving my ninja up to attack an enemy, I can move 2 other characters up next to him and then attack for a chance at a team attack. Then after the attack, I can cancel the movements of the other 2 units. Now they are still free to move and attack wherever they like, and I was able to get some free extra damage through the team attack. Stacking is another mechanic that is unique to Disgaea. By standing next to another unit and selecting lift, you can lift them above your head and toss them across the map. If you do this multiple times in a row, you can create what's called a stack, which is pretty self-explanatory. Maybe there's a geo panel in the middle of the map causing trouble for your party? Well, you can stack all of your units and toss them one by one across the entire map to reach it and destroy it. There's so much to Disgaea's gameplay that it would be practically impossible for me to cover all the nuance in one video. Needless to say, it's deep, addicting, and incredibly fun. And there's also plenty to do. It took me around 60 hours to finish the main campaign, and there's still plenty of post-game content left that I have yet to try out. Things like the New Game Plus mode and Etna mode definitely give the game some replayability. I personally plan on going through Etna mode and possibly checking out some of the more difficult post-game side quests at some point. Rest assured, if content is your concern, there is plenty to do both during and after the main campaign. I don't have much to say about the game's soundtrack. Outside of a few star tracks, the soundtrack overall is a bit ho-hum. It's not bad necessarily, but I would say it's pretty average. Now, as far as how well Disgaea 1 has aged overall, and how good of a job Complete does of bringing it up to speed, that's a bit of a mixed bag. On one hand, you have what is arguably the most definitive version of the game yet. It takes all the best features across the game's many different versions and puts them all in one package, similarly to the PC release. Unlike the PC release, however, the UI and art has been updated in many places. Character sprites and portrait art has been redrawn or possibly taken from Disgaea D2, and menus are sharp and crisp. On the other hand, however, the game's PS2 skeleton practically sticks out like a broken bone at times. While some textures are razor sharp, others are muddy and low res. Geometry has also not been updated by what I can see and causes certain areas to look really old. In the original, thanks to the TV technology at the time, these issues weren't quite as noticeable. But here they're accentuated by the super sharp art and textures, somewhat clashing with the low-res, low-poly geometry. I wouldn't even say this would be a deal-breaker, as an up-resed port with trophies was all I was really wanting. But with a price tag of $50, I would have expected more to be done to the overall package. For newcomers, it's absolutely worth $50, especially if you don't have access to the other systems it's on. But for veterans who have already played Disgaea 1 and have probably played it multiple times at this point, this is more than likely a deal-breaker. Overall, Disgaea 1 Complete is without a doubt the best way to play the game that started it all with this crazy strategy RPG series. The core game is just as enjoyable now as it ever was, with its lovable characters, over-the-top gameplay, and addictive loop aging like a fine wine. It may not bring anything new to the table for Disgaea 1 veterans, but if you somehow missed out on Disgaea on all the systems that it came out on before, Disgaea 1 Complete is the perfect way to finally jump in. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed the review. I apologize if things sounded a bit off. About halfway through recording, I started losing my voice, and I'm still kind of losing my voice, so hopefully it wasn't too bad. But I just want to take the time to say to anyone who has subscribed to me or followed me on any of my social media pages, I just want to say thank you so much. I can't even put it into words properly how much it means to me, and without you guys, I would have never been able to do what I'm doing right now and get this game early and make all this content over it. And it's thanks to you guys that I'm even able to do this. So just from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much. So anyway, that's enough mushy stuff.
Laharo? What's wrong? Oh, him? He hates it when people are optimistic.
You guys already know. If you like the video, be sure to like it. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. As always, thank you for everything. Thank you for watching. I hope you all have a great day, and I will catch you guys in the next video.